Tim Scott has been doing the possible Trump VP media tour and really taking a page out of Trump's book while he's at it, in that he just lies about anything and everything in an attempt to spin it to look good while also vehemently denying election results. So let's start with his most recent attempt of trying to justify that.
I have to ask, a lot of Republicans have been refusing to commit to accepting the election results in 2024. You haven't done so yet. So let me ask you it this way. You will be a sitting United States Senator in January of 2025. Will you vote to certify the election no matter who wins?
Well, certainly. We expect a fair and honest election. And as a result of that expectation, we will certify the election and certify President Donald Trump as our 47th president.
It always comes back to poisoning the well, saying, oh, if it's fair and free, as if they've ever proven election fraud before, then mentioning Trump would have to win if it was fair and free, pretty much saying if Trump loses, it's rigged, even though he got stomped by 7 million votes in 2020, and none of these snowflakes can prove that there was fraud at all. They're just like, 200 mules, 2,000 mules. Like, yeah, Dinesh D'Souza is a real credible source there, guys, for sure, right? This is worse than the people in my comments who make up hypotheticals and pretend it's going to be reality. Like, oh, what if Biden gets 110 million votes? Why didn't he last time then? What if the world ends tomorrow? What if Trump gets 110 million votes? Would you say that there's fraud? Hypotheticals mean nothing when you're just using them to fearmonger, and the things you're chirping about, you don't have any evidence to substantiate them. There's no evidence that any of the things Republicans cry about, whine about like little babies, cause any widespread fraud. Republicans have no problem counting mail-in ballots when it's the military votes that they've historically always relied on to win, but the ones that go to Biden, those are definitely fraudulent. They say fraud happened in the states, but all of their Republican Congress members were elected fairly. They took the House. Democrats rigged the election, but gave Republicans the House. They didn't want to keep the presidency, the Senate, and the House. They just decided, why not just give the Republicans something, right? And in those states where they did do fraud, where they definitely did fraud and it was proved, they just didn't do any fraud to win the seats that the Republicans win. You really have to be low IQ to buy into this sort of nonsense.
Millions of other Americans coming to the same conclusion that our economy was better under Trump, that our border, there was no crisis, that the fact of the matter that the violence in the streets, absent.
This is just also vehemently false across the board. Border encounters doubled in 2019, while the removal rate dipped to a low 30%. And actually, Trump was less efficient at removals across the board, boasting a 47% rate to Biden's 50% rate. So the thing that Trump likes to boast about being hard-nosed on the most, he failed at as well. And violence on the street, no violence? Is that really the position you're taking? The Charleston riots happened while Trump was president. He stood with the white supremacists. The Capitol riots happened literally to delay the peaceful transfer of power. Trump was still president, and they were done in an attempt to keep him president. And Republicans love to say, oh, Black Lives Matter just did violence and destruction in the street. What about Black Lives Matter? Well, okay, Trump was president for that as well.
I saw a wave of red hats at the Libertarian convention. Donald Trump's popularity continues to increase.
So that's good. It's a theft. We believe we cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. And I stand. And I am not a good thing. That's nice.
So yeah, clearly he was booed. Clearly he had no support, and Republicans would just try to spin this in their own ways to save face. One of the funniest being, why won't Joe Biden do it? Well, because he's not as egotistically stupid as Trump is. Like, Trump probably thought he would be in good graces because he cut taxes, and libertarians hate taxes, while Biden supports taxes and the social safety nets they provide. He doesn't want to privatize things. He has nothing ideologically in line with libertarians. Why would he go and speak with them? Why doesn't Trump go speak at the DNC? Why doesn't Trump go speak at communist conventions? Why doesn't he go to the Green Party conventions? It's obvious. And Trump's just, the only reason he went here is because libertarians are right wing in America. Trump's desperation to get a base under him and his ego is what made him make that horrendously stupid mistake. And I can assure you the Biden campaign would not make the same missteps. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.